I'm interviewing Ms. Minnie Elliott, president of the Brooklyn Manor Brentwood Village Residents Association. We have 3 questions from the DC Grassroots Planning Coalition that we wanted to ask. So the first question is, what has been the historical experience of Brooklyn Manor residents with community development and planning?
Mid-City made so many promises that we were going to be a part of the development, the planning, the job part and everything. We had sat down and we talked clearly about this. We even wanted them to do a commitment in writing to make sure that they knew and we knew what they were going to do. But each and every time we had meetings, it was the same thing over and over, emphasized on more of the senior part of the building and the naming of the building and different things like that. But they never got back to the job placement, or even if they were going to do all these, the demolishing of the building and how many people, Brooklyn Manor residents would be able to participate in this. They backed down on so many things we needed to know, and the plan for it, they backed down. They even brought in their security people that started intimidating a lot of the young people on the property. They start asking different residents about their paying history. They start giving them different types of rules and regulations that had not been in the beginning. They went as far as to divide the population of the residents against each other. They did so many little different things that we knew they was not being fair as far as the development, and we knew that they were not going to go through with what they had said. They gave us no plans, no type of understanding with this. They went on doing a lot of things on our property. So as far as the development at Brooklyn Manor and with Mid-City and Edgewood, we've had a very bad experience, and the developments did not do any of the things that they had promised that they would do. Even some of the employees that work for them, they had security where they would even tell them they could not stand and wait, or if people were waiting for cabs or people to pick them up, they made it so impossible that people felt like they were in prison all of a sudden at Brooklyn Manor. Then when we asked them about the employment and things like that, we found that they never even made any plans with the people who did the demolishing. They never even heard or anything like that. They did a private, people had no interest in the people here learning any skills or else trying to help them get jobs here. They had so many fractions that was unfairly given to people, and they had some of them you had to go to court where the judge threw these things out. And not only that, they had put locks on the gates. We had to go and have attorneys in order to open up the gates for the handicapped to be able to move around the apartments.
What would it look like for DC government to put the interests and the needs of Brooklyn Manor residents first?
The mayor, she says that she's all for seniors and children and family to be a part of the rebuilding of Washington, D.C. But that is not the case. That definitely is not the case, and especially not with our city council. We've had him out here to several meetings where he ran out of the meetings because he did not want to be taped as making commitments to us or working with us that have a better understanding with Mid-City, or that he pretend like he was all for affordable housing and things, and he even made statements as far as that he didn't feel like we needed largeable places and things like that, but that has been proven wrong. So I think that what the city government could do with the city council to sit down and find out what is the need of the people who need to live in affordable places and families, and their needs first. After all, we're the ones that voted them in. And I feel really angry about the fact that they are pushing us out this gentrification is strictly about people of color. So I think if they got together and set us down and together make them make this commitment and follow through for what they promise us, then this would be a better and a win-win for everyone.
What would a serious policy of equity in DC look like?
I'm saying to you, if we all as a city sat down and came up with something together for everybody to live here and to meet their needs and to have more jobs. It's like the developers are taking over and we don't have anybody to really guide or show us the way. Now everybody needs to stand up right now and fight against the fact that they are trying to push black people out of Washington D.C. Now they stood up for the go-go music, and it was so important for them to do that. But you know, if we're not careful, you ain't gonna even have any place to put the go-go music because there's nobody gonna be able to be here to live. So if they can sit down and do the go-go music and everything else, then we need to rise up like we did years ago. Go down to the mayor's office and start marching around and letting them know that we don't need all these people to be sleeping on the street or else to be be a second and D, or our kids to be on drugs and things. We need more programs. We need more training. We don't need all these developments.